So much for coming today. We will be talking about Ynvisible. Ynvisible is a disruptive industry with sustainable, low power, flexible displays that are cost effective. Ynvisible Interactive is listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange Venture Board under the symbol YNV and the OTCQB under YNVYF and Frankfurt 1XNA. Before we proceed, please note the webinar may contain certain forward-looking information and statements about Ynvisible Interactive. Our presenters today are Ramin Heydarpour, the Chief Executive Officer and Chairman of the Board, and Carlos Pinheiro, Ynvisible's CTO. And now I'll pass it over to Ramin for an update.
Thank you, Alicia. Good morning to those of you who are on the West Coast, and good afternoon to our investors in Europe. It's been a little over a year where we have had webinars of this type where we availed ourselves to Q&A. As you can see later in more detail, we took the year off last year to focus on our products, technology, production, and most importantly, to commercialize our own standard products. In retrospect, I regret that in addition to our quarterly reports where we did not avail ourselves to this type of a Q&A where you could ask us questions on our progress. But as you will see, we have made good progress, which we are proud of. And we were available to answer your questions today and on quarterly 6-month basis going forward. With that, I ask my colleague to run a short video which summarizes what we did in the past year. Good morning and welcome to Ynvisible's Investor Webinar. My name is Ramin Heydarpour and I'm the CEO and Chairman of the Board of Ynvisible Interactive. In the next 15 minutes, I'll present our company's objectives, what we did in the past year to transform our company from an R&D project-based business to an e-paper product company. I'll share our business outlook and our growth strategy, and I'll finish by highlighting our core competencies and present why we think we are a great investment for our investors. Our objective is to be an innovative and fast-growing e-paper company. Let me take a minute to explain what we mean when we talk about e-paper. If you look at paper as a communication medium, it's cost-effective, it's sustainable, it's light, thin, flexible. It can be customized to size. It can be cut to any particular shape and size. It doesn't require any power, and it's reflective. It's easy on the eyes. Dynamic displays, electronic displays, on the other hand, can show dynamic information. They interact with integrated circuits, and they're light emitting. E-paper bridges the gap between paper and electronic display. We maintain most all of the benefits of a paper media in terms of it being cost-effective, sustainable, customizable, low power, reflective, but it also gives you the advantages of an electronic display in presenting dynamic information and interacting with integrated circuits. Prior to 2023, our approach to business development and product commercialization was to work with major brand owners on R&D projects. The challenge with that approach was that, as it is with most R&D projects, the timelines are long and product commercialization success is dependent on business priorities of the brand owner. So in 2023, we made a conscious decision to bring our own standard products to the market to build our business. At the same time, we'll continue to work with major brand owners on a strategic R&D projects for the future. Let me now present our sales pipeline. In the past year, we invested in our sales and marketing to build our business, and we now have a robust and growing pipeline of customers. We responded to over 1,200 inquiries for different e-paper products. We sold 500 standard samples and 15 custom display designs to different customer specifications. We entertained and responded to 15 formal requests for quotations, and we have 7 active development projects for commercial launch. And we now have 4 commercial accounts who are planning to commercialize our e-paper products for in 2023 and 2024. We think we have done well with our sales pipeline, but we plan to grow at this pipeline with additional customers, and we look to increase the velocity by which we turn our customer leads into commercial applications. Let me present our 4 close-in commercial applications. We are working with an automation technology company who is looking to bring a point-of-purchase interactive sign to the market in 2023. The requirements call for a cost-effective, low-power, thin and flexible, sustainable display. They have selected us as their commercial partner to launch their product this year. We are working with a global leader for information signs to bring a sustainable replacement to their LED signs by Q1 of 2024. The requirements called for a lower power, paper-like, cost-effective replacement to their existing LED signs. We have an active project with a leading brand owner for biometric cards who's looking to launch a sustainable card authentication device in 2023-24. The requirements called for a lowest profile, thin and flexible display that can be integrated into a paperboard casing with microelectronics. We are also working with a global equipment supplier who is looking for a paper-like electronic service indicators in 2023-2024. The requirement called for a cost-effective, low-power, customizable display. That's a quick update on what we have achieved on the front end. We have also invested and made great progress on the back end. Let me take you through that. We invested in product and production to drive our competitive advantage. On our patented technology platform, in collaboration with Research Institute of Sweden, we have made our technology platform more durable, lower power, and more reliable. On products, we have developed standard products for the sign and indicator markets with an attractive price-performance profile for our customers to select from. On production, we have invested in our manufacturing processes to have the highest yield and the optimum product quality. We have also formed partnerships with our strategic raw material suppliers. Last but not least, we have invested in our people and our organization. More specifically, we have invested in business development, technology development, and product development. Here are some examples of our standard products available for sale. We have exhibited these products at global trade shows like NRF, Electronica, and the Embedded World to a great reception by potential customers. Let me now switch to our business outlook and our business strategy beyond 2024. To be an innovative and fast-growing e-paper product company, we have crafted a twofold strategy. 1, to be an attractive, reliable, and more cost-effective option to existing e-paper solutions, and 2, to develop new e-paper applications thanks to printed and sustainable electronics. So we are looking at existing markets and emerging markets with our 2 strategies. For existing markets, we are looking at indicators and signs. For emerging markets, we are looking at smart cards and smart labels. If you look at these 4 product formats, for indicators and signs, we are targeting them with our standard products. For card and labels, we are looking for strategic partnership with customers. Estimated timeline for commercialization for indicators and signs, it's starting 2023 and beyond. For cards and labels, it's late 2024 and beyond. If you look at our 4 product formats, indicators, signs, cards, and labels, we have mapped them against 5 market verticals: retail, medical and pharma, logistics and transportation, industrial, and banking. This is our full opportunity matrix. Our immediate focus areas are around electronic shelf label, public information display, smart cards, and medical labels and patches. The full opportunity matrix looks like this.
We will, of course, entertain business opportunities as they present themselves in other boxes. As you have seen from our earlier slides, we've got good tractions with our indicator products in banking and industrial market. We will continue to pursue those business opportunities as they present themselves. But why have we picked these 4 areas as our initial focus? These are the highest value markets where we offer a unique value proposition. Electronic shelf label is a $1 billion market growing at double digit. We believe we have an inherent cost advantage over the market leader for larger sign displays. Some of the largest global retailers are working with us to develop a unique ESL for their retail outlets. For public information display, there's a trend toward a lower energy, eco-friendly signs. Our low profile, thin and flexible printed display offer the combination of eco-friendly and cost advantage to our customers. In dynamic CVC and smart card, there are over 3 billion smart cards issued per year. There's an unmet need for adding a display to these cards. Our thin, flexible, low-power e-paper technology is a perfect fit for this unmet need. For high-value medical items and pharmaceuticals, like blood bags and clinical drugs, there is a critical unmet need for a flexible, smart label with a dynamic display. We are working with some of the leading label companies in this area. Let me finish by highlighting why we think we are a great investment for our investors. There's a large and growing market for cost-effective customizable e-paper. In the past year, we optimized our patent-protected technology and developed standard products for sale. We scaled our manufacturing processes for cost-effective, reliable production. We built our organization in sales, marketing, and product development. But last but not least, we have secured commercial accounts and we have crafted a cohesive strategy for growth.
Thank you, Ramin, for that informative update in that video. Now we will begin the question and answer session. I will read the questions submitted. Now, please put
Can I take a minute? Can I take a minute before that?
Okay.
Alicia, sorry about that.
No worries.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to our update. We tried to give you a kind of a condensed update on what we've achieved last year. The message is we now have the right product, the right production, the right portfolio of customers, and the right strategy to be successful in 2023 and beyond. That's kind of a quick summary of where we were. Back to you, Alicia.
Thank you very much, Ramin. Again, please put your questions at the bottom of the screen. You can see where it says Q&A. Please type the question and I will answer or will ask them. And I will read the questions and our speakers will provide the answers with Carlos and Ramin. One of the questions that came up that I've seen is Ynvisible doing a capital raise anytime soon?
We don't see it in the next 6 to 9 months. We have enough funding to execute against our current strategies for another year.
Okay, great. Another one is, can you tell us anything about an exciting project or developments that you're currently working on?
We highlighted some of them. So our projects that are due for commercialization are the 4 that we talked about. It's the interactive signs for fuel stations. It's the eco-friendly signs for LED replacements. It's the biometric cards and the service indicator. Those are the immediate projects we are working on. On the longer term projects, we are working with custom ESL displays for major brand owners. These are signs that go into retail, variable information pricing that goes into retail. You have seen those with some of the other e-paper products that are in the market, but some of the largest retailers globally are working with us to customize their unique ESL for their specific application. In addition to that, we are working with smart labels, as I said in the presentation, for interactive labels that authenticate and give the chain of custody on the products like blood bags and clinical labels.
Perfect.
Clinical drugs, my apologies.
Interesting. One of the questions that came up is, what is the lifetime of the product and does it degrade over time?
It is designed, our current sign product is designed for, that's an excellent question, and thank you for asking that. Our current product is designed for 5 years lifetime, and we have invested quite a bit in making it durable for 5-year lifetime at temperatures from -20 degrees C to -6 to +60 degrees C. That was the core part of product development that we did last year, both on the technology development and our product development, that it has a 5-year lifetime. We are looking to improve on that beyond 5 years.
Perfect. Another one, is Ynvisible improving its IP portfolio, and how many new patents did Ynvisible submit last year?
Yes, that's an excellent question as well. We are constantly working both on our base IP, the technology IP, where we are looking at additional type of functionalities that we can bring to the EC stack. But more importantly, we are working on the product IP. The question that was asked earlier around durability of the product is an area where we think we are developing IP around products, improve durability, improve shelf life, and interaction. We're also investing in the electronics and IP around electronics, how our products interact with the IC, integrated chips. So yes, we are investing in IP, and we have filed for 2 patents in the last year.
Wonderful.
But it is an active area of interest to us.
Great. Do you see Ynvisible exploring production and integration of other types of printed devices, batteries, antennas, transistors in the future? I think this is Carlos.
I mean, Ramin, you can go.
Okay, yeah. Yes, we
okay.
do
I'll
look
correct
at
you.
we do look at integrating what we call our Display Plus in applications where we can bring in additional functionalities to the market, like we have with the biometric cards. We're looking at putting power first and foremost. That's an area where if we can print the power, we will definitely entertain it. So instead of having a power source, call it a battery, if it's a printed battery, is something we would consider. Sensors are another area of interest to us. And we are working with another customer where we're looking to print. We are printing not only the display, but the sensor and battery and the integrated circuit all at once. And I think we have put out a press release around that also. We are working on an application where we're printing the integrated circuit with our display and power source and a sensor.
Okay. Also, the battery of the devices have a 5-year lifetime. How much is a lifetime per application? I don't really understand that. The battery of the device has a 5-year lifespan.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it? How much is the lifetime per application?
Do you want to take that question, Carlos, or do you want?
Yes, so I think it's so as you have seen, we have a range of different markets we are looking into, which will have different lifetime needs or operation time needs running on a battery. Some of those applications won't be running on a battery, so from those we don't have that that power management issue. but more like indicators for smart objects, where we need to run the indicator on a small object which is not plugged to the electricity. On those, we have, due to the low power consumption, we can run those devices for more than 10 years without any maintenance, including the power needed for the electronics. So one of the cases we're working on exactly requests that 10 years operation time of the display plus the electronics on a single battery. So that's certainly possible. Maybe to complement on the printing other components, we are not actively looking into develop alternative components. So we're really focused on putting the display out, but based on partnerships and customer requests, we are working on other printed elements as well.
Just to kind of build on Carlos's point, that is one of our key, that's one of the key advantages of our display. Because it is so low power, we can do a fantastic job on power management. And as Carlos pointed out, in some applications like indicators run on the same battery for 10 years. And we are, what I mentioned earlier, that we have validated the lifetime of our current products to 5 years. We are looking to build it up to 10 years and validate that in the near future.
Will e-paper label offer an impact indicator?
It could, but the applications that you're currently working on does not call for an impact indicator, but it could.
Okay. What is the overall power consumption compared to e-paper?
To e-ink, maybe it's the
I
electrophoretic.
think it's e-ink, yeah.
Yes,
Sorry, I'm just
yes.
reading the questions.
So we our technology run on a much lower voltage. That's one key benefit from the energy consumption and driving requirements. As what concern power consumption, energy consumption over time, it's really depending on the let's say the way the display will have to function. If it will be more static, where the image has to be kept continuously on without a refresh, or if we have applications where we need more refreshes. And so there's not a straight answer. We are competitive, but depending on the scenario, electrophoretics may be a little bit less energy consuming technology, but overall we are for more dynamic applications, our technology is more competitive from the energy consumption. But the key important feature is the low voltage. So we can trigger the devices at 1.5 volts, which is very beneficial for more portable devices where you don't have a lot of energy or electronics. So it makes integration easier.
Thank you. Besides the integration with other hardware providers, sensors, and authenticators, is Ynvisible technology also evolving to integrate with other software solutions, AR, VR?
That's
it could be, yes.
Yes. The quick answer is yes. Yes. Are we working on it on our current portfolio? We are starting to work on it, but it's not on our immediate development pipeline. But yes, we are aware of it and we are interested in it. So are our customers. But as you know, it's an emerging field. So
Perfect.
yeah, yes.
Great. Do you have X-proof products for ATEX certification? Is your products acceptable for X-proofing?
You have to
For what? Sorry.
Do you have X-proof products for ATEX certification? Is your products applicable for X-proofing?
I don't know that application. I'm sorry.
I don't know. Neither do I. I don't know what X-proofing is.
I don't know. Maybe if they want to expand a little bit, what is that ATEX certification? Maybe we can answer that.
I can allow you to talk if you have, if you.
No,
like-
certainly we have not looked into that. That's why we don't know it, but maybe we can comply.
Oh, the meaning is unusable in solvent
Insolvent.
atmosphere,
Oh, I see.
hazardous areas.
That's not something we have tested. I guess it depends on what kind of hazardous materials are there. We work with plastic organic electronics, so certainly they are sensitive to some sort of solvents and chemicals. But yeah, without knowing exactly what kind of environment, it's hard to tell.
And of course, we can always encapsulate our design, our products. So if there are applications where it's exposed to aggressive environment, we can encapsulate it in a casing, if you will. But as it is, as Carlos said, it's a plastic product with organic materials. So
Okay. Another question is, are you, when are we, for the sales pipeline, are we expected to have sales announced shortly? What's the sales? We saw that the diagram, but what's the sales that we see in the future?
yes, as we said earlier, we are anticipating customer sales in 2023. In the coming weeks, we'll be putting out press releases around our sales in 2003 and early 2024. And yeah, so you will have press releases within the next few weeks. But the purpose of the webinar is to communicate that with you today, that we will have sales in product sales in 2023 and 2024, early 2024.
Mhm.
And it'll be around those 4 applications that I shared with you.
Where do you see the share price in the next few years? Or can you say something about the share price development?
That depends on you. We rely on our investors. We are cautiously optimistic about our stock price, and we have an internal target, which I'm not privy to share with you today. But we are disappointed with our stock price as it stands today, needless to say. We are cautiously optimistic that it will be significantly higher than the base that we have today. And hopefully this webinar gives you a reason to believe, and the reason to believe that our stock price is going to be significantly higher than what it is today. And you know, we'd like to support that with the commercialization pipeline that we have in 2023, 2024, and our strategies.
Okay. Someone, you said plastic organic materials is compared to OLED somehow in terms of material, and then maybe this is also, yeah, maybe Carlos, do you want to answer that one?
Sure. Conceptually, it's all printed electronics. OLEDs are organic light emitting diodes. So the basic concept of printed electronics we share between our printed e-paper and OLEDs. The main difference is on the function. Our displays are not light emitting; they work based on contrast. And the second difference is that OLEDs are really sensitive materials. So a big effort in commercializing OLED technology has been on encapsulating these materials against environmental conditions, oxygen, moisture, because they degrade very fast when they are exposed to those environmental elements. And that's something that we don't have as dramatic effects on our e-paper stack. We do have some, of course, to have some precaution on encapsulating the technology, but it's far from the requirements for OLEDs.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Sustainable solution was mentioned a couple times. How are these labels sustainable? Can they be recycled easily, for example?
Mm-hmm. So I think this is something we will have to see with our customers case by case. So I don't have a straight answer to this question. We are sustainable from the material space perspective. Within our stack, we do not use scarce materials or materials that require intensive resources to get. From the production process as well, we are what is called additive product manufacturing. So we do not use more than what we need to manufacture our devices. As for other electronic technologies where you have to have subtractive manufacturing, where we have a lot of waste in order to create your component, that's something that we do not have. And so from those perspectives, we consider ourselves much more sustainable in manufacturing, also the base materials, but also then in the use lifetime of the product, being a low power, low energy consuming display technology. We also there add benefits on sustainability compared to other type of display technologies.
What is
We
the
have seen
status?
a lot of our customers pick us for our sustainability, eco-friendly profile for the exact reasons that Carlos just mentioned. We are thinner, lighter, lower power, printed the technology, additive technology, and that's what our customers like. We're inherently thinner and lighter and lower power and printed.
What is the status of the fully addressable pixel displays? And when can a display even a low resolution JPEG? I don't understand that one.
I think Carlos does.
I don't know if it's like anything about image formats. I don't know if it's
Active
resolution of the
matrix.
display.
I think they're talking
Yeah.
about active matrix. When can we show
Yes.
moving images, active matrix?
Yes, yes. That's not something we are looking into at the moment. We are not looking into get a display pixel base or using a TFT backplane. What we do now is segmented displays where you have individual segments that you can show alphanumeric letters. And that's where we see most of the applications we are looking into. They do not require high content display information. That's where we then start competing with existing display solutions. And I think it's outside of the benefits of e-paper display, printed e-paper display technology. There are possibilities, of course, to do active matrix or even passive matrix structures with e-paper, printed e-paper solutions. But those are more long-term developments that are required to be put into it.
From a research perspective, we are interested in it, but from a development, we don't have a development project where we are looking at, pixel to JPEG type of images that you're talking about.
Okay, perfect. Which of signs, cards, and labels do you think best demonstrates the company's technical and cost competitiveness?
Part of it is the customization. So something that we can provide, the benefit we can offer to our customers, that we can very cost effective and quickly customize a display for their product. And in those categories, there are not much standards. And so the industry doesn't have also a standard, reliable, and cost-effective supply. They would need to customize it. And when we compare against LCDs or even electrophoretics, we have a much easier customization process to our customers to make the display exactly how it should be in terms of size, information content, and also integration. So again, if you are talking about cards, you do not have a lot of room to have batteries or enough power for more power-hungry displays.
I can answer it from another angle. Look at larger signs. For interactive information signs, you have the small signs where you see on the supermarket shelves. Our competitive advantage is for the larger signs, the ones that we showed on our two examples. Because we print, we have an inherent cost advantage and sustainability advantage for larger signs. And with larger signs, I mean something beyond about 20 centimeters, 15 centimeters, 15 by 15, 20. So the larger it gets, the more cost advantage we have over current materials because of our printing capabilities and sustainabilities. So that's for signs. For indicators, as Carlos mentioned, are applications where indicator can be integrated into a product. So ease of integration with electronics, microelectronics, sensors, as we showed in our biometrics card authentication application and the service indicator. So I would look at it broadly. The 4 applications that we shared with you are good examples. For signs, again, to emphasize, we are looking at larger signs than small, shelf signs. And for the indicators, are indicators that become part and parcel of the product, can be integrated into product because of our thin profile and low power applications. So that's a broad answer, I guess. But the 4 that we showed to you are good examples, not only by what we say, but what the market has accepted as our competitive advantage.
Sustainable solution was mentioned a couple times. How are these labels sustainable? Can they be easily recycled, for example?
Carlos answered that. Do you want to take that, Carlos?
Yeah, I think we went through that as well already. So as I was saying, sustainability comes from different perspectives. From one hand, the base materials are based on organic materials. We do not have metals or heavy metal materials. For example, compared to other display technologies where they use indium tin oxide, which is scarce resources, and it's quite resource intensive also to get those raw materials. We do not use any of those. The manufacturing process is based on additive manufacturing, meaning that we only use the materials we need to manufacture our displays, meaning low waste, compared to subtractive manufacturing used in typical or conventional electronics, where you have first to put all the layers and then you remove and you pattern by removing parts of what you don't need. So you create a lot of chemical waste, which is then hard to recycle, let's say. And then we have sustainability during the lifetime of use of the product due to the low power, low energy, low voltage consumption.
And I think the question was asking perhaps if you meant whether it can be recycled, the display can be recycled, go through the existing recycling streams. Theoretically, yes. If it's separated from the electronics, our displays are polyester, the same material that you see your water bottles that are made of. And all the materials that we print on our displays are water-based, soluble. So theoretically, our displays are water-based inks that are printed on a polyester substrate. If it's separated from the electronics, it could theoretically be recycled in a PET stream.
Okay, perfect.
But our main advantage is exactly what Carlos said, that we have a much lower carbon footprint on the manufacturing and use of display. So think of it as manufacturing, production of the display, we have a cost advantage. During the use of it, we have a sustainability advantage in production of the display. We have a sustainability advantage in the use of display when it's being used. And the end of life, I think, question that you had, theoretically, you could recycle it in a PET stream if you separate it from electronics and the rest of the product.
Thank you. Sales plan was mentioned briefly. Thank you. However, sales and turnover is one thing. Profitability is another. Is there a target for profitability available?
Excellent question. Yes, we do have a margin target for all the sales that we are targeting. In terms of hitting that margin, we need to continue to improve our manufacturing process. We are in the midst of optimizing our manufacturing processes and our supply chain for margin optimization. So while we have a margin target, profitability target for 2023, 2024, we're going to improve on that. I hope that answers the question. I don't mean to be coy, but we do have a profitability target. Hopefully, we will get close to it this year.
Well, I think how many displays do you plan to sell in 2023 and 2024? Percentage of small displays versus large displays?
2023, that's an easy answer on the percentage. 2023, it's going to be all large displays. 2023, it's going to be all large displays. And what was the second part of the question?
And 2024, it's small, percentage of small to large displays.
Well, it depends on the size versus number of displays. With the large displays, we don't have to sell quite as many number of large displays to hit the sales target, the number. So we have to sell a lot more small displays.
It depends on the opportunities, of course. So the first four customer cases we have now, 2 of them are large size, which is for signage, and the other 2 are relatively small, more like indicators. So from project base is 50-50 based on those imminent opportunities that we're working on. In terms of volumes, it's different, but I don't have the numbers on top of my head. And then 2024, as you saw, we want to grow the cards, the smart cards business, and the labels. So, and that's more in the mid-range category. So it's not a large signage, but it's also not a very small indicator. It's something in between those 2. Anyway, from the manufacturing perspective, of course, there are some considerations if we are printing one big display or multiple small displays, but it's using all the same manufacturing process.
Perfect.
You know, the profitability question that was asked, this kind of brings in, we need to improve our profitability by improving our yield for large displays. For the small displays, we have an optimized manufacturing process. For the larger displays, we need to improve our margins on those. And the profitability mix, the question that the profitability, that question that was asked depends on the mix of products that we have, large versus small, and how soon can we get our manufacturing yield up for the large displays.
Great. I think we have time for maybe one more question. What do you think, Ramin? One more question?
Sure.
Okay, perfect. Are you able to print this in a transparent film application similar to heads-up displays? Are you able to print heads-up displays?
Carlos.
Yeah, yes, it can be printed on a transparent display, flexible, transparent film, which we do. But some of the layers we print, some of them are actually giving the opacity you see on our display. So we have it's an opaque white reflective surface we print, and that's tied with the patent technology we are using today, which has that we have worked on that property to increase contrast. So it is possible, but it's not what we can do today with our existing base materials. But there's nothing that would block that possibility. But it's not something we have worked on.
Okay.
Do we have a lot more questions? Are there a
We
lot
have,
more?
I think we can do 2 more questions. I see 2 really good questions here.
Okay.
And then we'll end it. But are different colors for the given display segments within reach, or is colors an option?
Carlos.
Yes, it is also possible. We have worked in the past years more on a research level, demonstrating different colors. We have shown in previous webinars, we can do a wide range of primary colors, like similar to the printing colors, the cyan, yellow, magenta, and black. These are available. They are not ready to be scaled to a product. So that's something that is still missing, that productization of those materials. We have worked on more exotic colors like skin tone color project as well, where we demonstrate that the display could be tuned to different type of skin colors. So it's certainly possible. It's not something we can deliver today or in the next, I would say, year or two. So it's not based on that we have our business strategy, but this is something that we have research going on that.
From a research perspective, we are very interested in color, and our customers ask for it. From commercialization timeline, as Carlos said, it's not going to be within the next year.
Yeah, but maybe just to add that we learned with our customers as well that most of the applications we're looking for now, colors is not a critical factor. So we are looking into functional information, not so much aesthetic information, and there's a lot of opportunities already out there just for that. And so we don't see that as a important feature to develop and bring to product immediately in order to succeed with our business.
Exactly. Thank you.
And one more, I think this is to Ramin. Do you have a program to present the company to retail investors and other investors since you've been quiet for so long? Do you have a program set in place to reemerge Ynvisible to the market?
Yes. This is the beginning of that. This is the beginning of this journey. We wanted to be in the position, as I started the conversation, we wanted to be in this place before we come back to the retail investor. We wanted to have optimized our technology platform, developed our own standard products, put together the right sales, marketing, product development organization, and have a portfolio of commercial accounts before we go back to our retail investors. As I said earlier, I regret not giving a progress report earlier, but now we are in the position to talk to retail investors about our progress and about our future. And I'll be working hand in hand with Alicia to do this. But this is the beginning of that journey.
And Ramin, I think our audience would really like to know, what is your background and why are you the perfect person to lead Ynvisible into this new product commercialization? Why are you the perfect person for the CEO job?
I'm not sure. I mean, well, let me tell you why I think we need someone who understands both the technology and the market. For us to move from an R&D company, as I said earlier, most of our commercialization was based on research and development projects we were doing with the brand owner. So a brand owner would come to us and say, this is the type of projects I want to work with. Our platform technology may not have been optimized for that particular application. So we would work on a 2-year project or a year project, which was predicated on the business priorities of the brand owners. So product development, to my mind, was an important part of Ynvisible's journey, where we bring standard products to the market. So when we hired our VP of sales, the first question he asked me, he says, so what am I selling? When I go to the trade shows, I need a product with product spec sheets to sell. What am I selling? I can't sell R&D projects. I want to sell products. My background is in product development and product commercialization. And product development, distinguishing it from product commercialization, because you develop a product with a commercial target in mind. You develop a product for the market. So my background is product commercialization. And that's what we did last year, to offer products that are fit to a market use. In this case, for the indicator market and for the sign market, we have offered products that we think the market needs. And we are getting good traction on that, where we are selling our products to existing markets. That doesn't say we are not going to work on strategic R&D projects. Those are critical for us also. So internally, we call that our two-speed approach to the market. One, selling standard products, and two, working on select strategic projects like we showed with the smart cards and smart labels with market leaders to, develop new products. So my background is research and development and product commercialization. So I hope I answered that question.
Perfect. Yeah, I think that's something that everyone really wants to know. I think why we made the switch, and I think why you're the perfect person in this role. And another, I think this is the last question, since we're over time right now for the webinar. Are share buybacks planned by the board of directors or the advisory board?
Repeat that question, please. I'm sorry.
Are share buybacks planned in the future for Ynvisible?
It's something we think about, but it's not in our immediate target.
Okay. Well, I think this concludes the question and answer session. Thank you everyone for your participation today. And for any further questions, please feel free to reach out to me as investor relations at ir@ynvisible.com, and I will help to answer any more questions that you may have. Also, there was a question about the financials. They were posted yesterday. So I have also put, I can put a link in that you guys can look at the financial statements and the MD&A through on CEDAR. So thank you very much. I will now end the transmission and you may disconnect. And this is recorded so you can watch it in future time. Thank you very much. And thank you so much, Carlos and Ramin, for your candid conversation.
Thank you.